Okay, so let's add some animations on the third person part. Now I've got two assets from the asset store. I paid for them, but there's Mixamo if you don't want to get animations, those are free. And there's plenty over here, and I don't know if there's much of a point to do this in front of the camera, but I'll show you the base for it. So we have one character, of course we have it hidden because we don't want to be seeing him. So here's one thing I'm going to actually do. Okay, because I actually want to be seeing what he's doing without me changing cameras and doing screens. I'm just going to move this on the one and on the one. Actually maybe -1, and actually even more, something like this and this. Okay, so we'll just move him about over there just so that we can see him, and we're going to ignore the code that hides his mess. So let's go on our controller, let's open that up, and let's see on TPS we do any init, and we have the update renders. So basically we just want to ignore this entirely, so we'll just tick on the TPS hook, which is over here, debug local, and we should get the character showing over there. Okay, awesome. Okay, actually let's just move him slightly, ever slightly more, and I'm actually going to rotate him. Okay, so you'll see why I'm rotating him, just so that I can actually see him from up front. Now we have this. Okay, let's go. We have the animator. Let's create an animator. Let's do it here. Create animator control, and we'll just say TPS animator. Okay, drag and drop that. Now let's start with the parameters. Easy stuff. Vertical, horizontal to start with, and then of course we can also add the stance. So ideally, well, yeah, I think it's just going to be a simple one, so whatever. Let's create a blend tree, and this will be standing. Okay, we'll of course start with this. I'm going to only do the first stance actually, because I don't think yeah, we'll just go with the rest later. So let's say, well, first of all we want this to be a 2D freeform Cartesian, and we'll start with horizontal and vertical. Let's find the idle. That might be a little bit of a pain to find. Okay, there's the idle. So we have idle. Let's start with, well, technically you need walks as well, so I guess let's do walks. Walk forward start, and that will be 0.5, and let's raise this to 0.5. See, does it work? Yeah, okay, we are correct. This is the start. We want the loop. Then let's do the backwards. Walk backwards loop. Okay, so -0.5, and yeah, I don't know, strafe right, strafe left loop. I mean, there's probably no point of me doing this on camera right now, so let's do strafe right loop. Okay, you can see that how this works. So I'm going to pause the video and just come back to it once we have everything done. Okay, there's no point of me just doing all of this in recording. I'm also going to add the run as well. Okay, and the run should be where though? We have a run forward, I guess, and a run backwards. Yeah, I will do something with this. Drive run. Okay, we'll just use this animation. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit. So here's how this will look. The only things to keep in mind is the special sets, which is the 45, so -1 and 1 and 1 and to -1. Okay, because without these animations he kinda goes a little bit cross-legged. For example, you'll see that this kinda looks bad. So we just add one more animation, and it's just that. Now, depending on which pack you use, some might even have a specific animation for this. But with this, we have covered all the areas we need to be going. Just make sure speed looks correct, at least, you know, just to be seeing. And this will be your idle. Now, for crowds, you need to do the same thing, and of course, we'll just replicate what we have for this one in the camera animator. You'll just replicate this, but now it's in blend states. Okay, which I'm not going to do in camera right now, no point. So we have now our third person animator. So let's see how we can update its values. Now, if you remember in the old video, we were kind of doing the same thing we were doing with our animator in general. So I was passing both the vertical values we have from our input, okay, which we are getting then from the FPS handler. So I was passing basically all my inputs, which, okay, it works, but I'll show you another way, and a much simpler way for that matter. So we have our controller, or our TPS hook, and let's say we want to make it a little bit more decoupled from everything it does. So we just want this to be reacting to what we're doing. So I'm going to say I want to have my last position, and from that last position I'm actually going to do and find my delta position, and we do that of course from getting our own position, or the c.transform.position to be more correct, because it is the controller. I don't want to be taking my own position, and removing the last position, and then last position will be c.transform.position. Okay, so with this now we actually have a direction we were coming from, but it's in world position, so we need to change this to relevant, or not relevant. Is it relevant? Anyway, let's just say relevant position. Okay, and from that we're just going to use, we can use our own transform, doesn't matter, we just need to get a direction. We're just going to use then the delta position. So now if I say on my TPS animator, I'm going to do set float vertical relevant z, and let's just do, I'll do something very small and pass the delta. And same thing for horizontal, but now we're going to pass the x direction. So just like that, let's make sure we also update this. Okay, we do this. So just like that, we should be able to have we should be able to see this guy being animated. Okay, we are not updating something, that's for sure. And let's do a debug log actually to see what we're getting from the relevant position. Maybe this was too slow. From world space to local space. Okay. We can also normalize the delta position. Okay. One small thing we need to change is the hands animator. Not a hands animator. On this animator has apply root motion. We need to close that. And because we're taking the inverse transform direction from our own transform, that means we are rotated the opposite way. So in relevance, it will be looking the other way. So we probably just need to change this as well to go from the transform of our controller. Okay, and we can now see it. And you saw how simple it was to just have him move around and basically do what we're going to be doing. Of course, in the real scenario, if this is our own player, this will have been here. Then we're not going to be debugging local, and when we're hitting play, and this guy will just be our shadow. But if we were without the other weapon, of course, and if we were in the if this was a client, then this one then will have been we will be able to see him there. So let's move him now onto forward again so we can be seeing him. So basically the idea with this is that because I'm seeing what he's doing, just by passing values to him, I will know that then he's synced over the network as well. Okay, because I can see it, because that's the same values we're going to be passing, and his movement is based not on input but on previous positions he was. Okay, because we're using the delta. He's a little bit snappy, but that's all about the delta position we are in here. So you can just increase this value and to make it a little bit more smoothly. But yeah, you see how simple this was. Okay, and we can also do other things like reload. For example, I think we could have there is a reload in here. Yeah, okay, there is a reload here, and of course we should probably do this on a different layer. So let's add another layer, upper body, and I'll raise this. We need a mask as well. Now it may be a good time to do 2 columns. That's the avatar mask. We need this, yeah. Okay, apparently I already have a mask made, so let's just drag and drop that over here. Let's rename this to upper body, and then we can do the empty state without using anything, and then I'm just going to take the animations and just find the reload, and there's the reload. I'm just going to say reload then. Okay, and once it's over, it will rotate, it will transition back to the normal one. Awesome. yeah, so with that said, we could just say on the TPS handler public void play animation string target anim, and then just do TPS animator to crossfade, I guess, target anim to 0. I'll do just 0.2f, I guess. So on the controller, once we are reloading, which we do from the FPS handler, and it's as simple just updating. See, okay, we do get volume. So yeah, this is our fake interaction timer. So you could just do controller TPS and TPS. What is C? Yeah, that's C. We have a reference to the TPS handler anywhere. What is it? Okay, I guess we need to make this public. I'll just hide them in the inspector because no need to be seeing them. Okay, so from here we could just do TPS handler, play animation, reload, and let's see it. Okay, of course it's a little bit slower than our slider, but it will work, and of course all weapons should have their own reload animation, but we can actually see it. And because I know and I'm seeing it, it's the important thing, is that because I'm seeing him, how he moves, I know when I put this in online, then that's how he's going to behave. Okay, we could probably do something with the aim once we are aiming. So let's try that. Let's say once you are aiming, or if you are holding the, you're not moving, I guess. We're also missing sprint, I guess. I see. We'll see. So what was I saying? Okay, so if you are aiming, we're going to clamp the relevant Z from minus 0.5 to 0.5f, and same with X. Let's try it out. Of course, we're not seeing it now, so let's just move him a little bit to the center, just so we know what's happening. Okay, so now I am aiming and I'm moving. We probably need to do something with shooting as well, but I think I'm just going to do IK because it's going to solve a lot of things for us. Okay, but you can see how cool this is. If you have more animations, then you can expand on this much greater. But let's say we do, just for fun, let's expand with the crouch. And animation crouch, animations, crouch and prone. We do crouch to prone. You can actually put first an animation go to crouch, and let's see, crouch loop is the idle. So I'm going to copy paste this actually, crouching, and we can say idle to crouch. Where is it? Prone to idle, crouch loop. It doesn't have an idle to, what the fuck? Idle to crouch. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go through this first. If my stance is set to 1, and then this will transition to crouching. Of course, I need to replace all of this, so probably I'm going to have to do this off camera. Yeah, okay, I'll do this off camera. Okay, but here's the thing, I'm just going to remove the upper states since we don't have any run animations while crouching. What's the point? And okay, so the other thing I'm going to do is to go, let's see, we need to be passing the stance. So TPS animator set integer stance from C current stance. This needs to be casted as an integer, of course. Okay, so that will change as well. Let's change let's also put the opposite, so crouch to idle. And it will be the same once you're going to, yeah, equals to 0. Once you're doing the prone, but I'm not going to bother with prone right now. Okay, so there we go. And once we're crouching, it doesn't change. Why that is? Equals to 1. And crouch. Zero rifle idle crouch. This needs to go. This needs to go because it will try to play the entire animation. We don't want that. We want to only exit after the first animation. Okay, so basically this probably needs to be a lot of more snappier. You know, if it's like Call of Duty, it's almost instant. And I'm actually going to show you one more thing you can do. Okay, and there we go. Awesome. There, basically that's it. You know, that's most of the animation needs you're going to have will be this. Now there is one more thing that you can do, which games like Tarkov do it. I guess we could do this as well in the future, but right now I'm just going to keep this simple. I'll just say stand %. So you could just do a new blend tree. Okay, and inside the blend tree you can add 2 new blend trees, and those 2 blend trees can be the normal 2D Cartesians you have for standing and going down. Okay, let's see, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. I'll just add just one animation will do for this. Okay, and this will be the let's do idle. I guess this is going to be the one. Okay, and this is going to be the crouch loop. Let's see what loop. Crouch loop. Okay, and this is the other. And this one now will be controlled from the stance %. Move that. So let's say I'm playing the animation and you don't want to blend exactly to it, but you want to do the type of thing that he is bending down a little bit. You see, the animations are not made for that, the ones we are using, because that's not how you magically move this. But yeah, if you want this, you can just hook this up to the middle mouse button, for example, and you will not be going down and that fast. You can just be going like this. Okay, but I'm not going to use this because the animations, it's not up for that. So that will be the basic idea. And of course, if you want to do prone, copy paste this, paste it over here. I'm not sure what animations he has for prone. I see additives, I see walk backwards. I don't see any strafe. once we're proning. I see the turns, but the turn is not. Yeah, the turn is not really a strafe, I guess. And we have a move backwards, walk forward. I guess we could just be moving him ever slightly for it, although it looks very wrong. Anyway, okay, so you can do this, the prone if you want. I'm not going to bother right now. Might actually just even remove it. But yeah, that's how you add animations. And really, the most intelligent thing we did here is how we have him update the values, because it's not based on my input, it's based on the delta position. So just moving him around without any input will actually make him animate. And we can actually see this in action if we just dock this over here. Let's say we go into the window screen, and I'm just going to move him. Okay, that's very cool, because all I have to be doing then online is just move this part, and I know that everything else will work perfect without any inputs. That's the trick. The less stuff you have to sync, the slower the messages, the smaller the messages, the faster the connections. Okay, so that's it for this part. On the next one, well, we'll see what we're going to do. Probably some IK stuff, so we make this look a lot more prettier. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one.